Tyron Smith came back. Really moved Tyron Smith to the right side and kept Tyron Smith on the left.
We got to re-rack that one, Broderick. You just chucked him. All right, let's see what happens here.
Lift clean in place.
Let's see. Underneath them. Let's get your hands on him. And... yeah, I mean... there's a lot of jobs I'd be happy doing at the combine. This is not one of them.
Look at that. Get out of my way, coach.
Broderick Jones, Crevonte, maybe the third on the list of offensive linemen we've done, but physical as they come, very mean and aggressive when it comes to offensive linemen, which you want.
Absolutely. Big guy, very, very raw. He reminds me of a little, probably on the rougher end, but Andrew Thomas. But yeah, we're definitely going to dive in. He is a interesting prospect from Georgia.
From national champion Georgia, back-to-back national champions from Lithonia, Georgia, redshirt sophomore, 6'5", 311, 34 3/4 inch arms, 10 5/8 inch hands, 4'9", 740, really good. 10-yard split, 1.74, 30-inch vertical, 9-inch broad jump as well. And he pretty much has been part of that offensive line, has won back-to-back national championships, started 15 games at left tackle last season, and helped his team win back-to-back tackles, Crevonte, protecting Stetson Bennett.
So he very intriguing because he's wildly athletic. And I believe, if I'm not mistaken, I think he's played basketball earlier in his youth. So his height, athletic abilities, it shows that he doesn't just play football. Like his come down to his footwork, and he's very, very, very strong. And uses his arms very well, and mean and nasty, and that's the Georgia way, right? Georgia Bulldog way. Ain't nothing pretty over here except for the rings. But ain't other than that, football, it ain't pretty over here. And how he finishes plays is very mean and very nasty. You know the way offensive linemen like to finish their plays, or finish their food, I should say. Right on top. They fit right on top. It's a flop. Like you feeling all 300 of these pounds. If I put you on the ground, you gonna feel all 300 of these pounds. And he does that viciously. Potential and upside is through the roof, but he's very, very, very raw. Very raw. I know. I believe he only has about 19 starts total. You said 15 of was last year. I believe he only has 19 starts. So that's basically really a year and some. So naturally, he's not going to be elite at the position because there's still a lot of things that he needs to learn. But only a year in the position, it can be a little bit inconsistent. And I think he relies on his athleticism a lot to get him out of certain situations, and that's just not going to work at the next level, is it? Like these are guys that does this for that do this for a living, and they're gonna put you on your ass when you have the opportunity to, because they making a paycheck too. And sometimes naturally he could be a little bit over aggressive. Listen, he went to Georgia. Ain't nothing pretty over here. It's nasty over here. And sometimes he can be a little bit over aggressive, and he could reach and get the dip rip under and cause some problems for Stetson Bennett back in the day.
Now, do you see him playing left tackle? Was he a guy that probably is best suited as a right tackle? Does he maybe like Skorowski go inside the guard? Where do you see him going? Maybe even commander.
I think he stays at tackle. I'm not sure if it's on the left side. I do think he's better suited because his arms, he's very strong and his arms are long. So that screams tackle as opposed to guard. Just which side? Because on the left side it's a heavy order. It's a heavy caseload over there. He's very raw. I could see him playing either tackles, but it's gonna take him some time. I wouldn't put him at left tackle immediately. I think it's gonna take him a little bit to get his stance and get comfortable in that position. So I would probably start him on the right side first and see how he grasps that concept. And speaking of grasp, when he gets his hands on you, he got you. he pretty much got you. But I think he'll be probably better suited on the right side as opposed to the left.
Where do you see him going to?
So, like you were saying, I think he's probably third on the list of linemen. So let's see. Again, Commanders. Commanders, we'll probably be in the ballpark because I do think Skoronski and Paris Johnson will be gone. So Patriots, Packers, Commanders, pretty much right there in the middle. Seattle could use him. Team up with Pete Carroll. That's his type of guy. You know what I'm saying? Like Pete Carroll would like. I think Pete Carroll would even he would take a chance on a guy that's raw and mean and nasty and put him on his line and make him productive. I think that's right up Pete Carroll's alley.
Just drafted Charles Cross last year, so another lineman tackle.
Absolutely. So I wouldn't be surprised if he goes line or in either direction because who knows, he could go, and we'll get into it later. But Jalen Carter, I can see Pete Carroll picking him as well.
Look, reminds me of Legion of Boom guys, kind of. We'll talk about it like you said, but yeah.
Yeah. So but Patriots, Packers, Commanders, Seahawks, Lions, and probably that mid to later end of the first round. And he has I almost confused him with Skoronski. I was about to say he had a teammate with the Chargers, but that is Skoronski, not Jones. Shoot, man. I mean, I know you like your offensive line, but he fits the Ravens. He's really mean and nasty, and yeah, he fits how the Ravens move and operate.
I mean, the Ravens are going to need a complete overhaul probably after this year because I think the whole right side is going to be gone with Zeitler and Morgan Moses. So they're going to need some guys that can play the right side of that line in the future. So, hey, I mean, if they could get them, I wouldn't be too mad at it. It is what it is, but I think they have a little bit more priorities. But I could see the Commanders, Seattle, Green Bay, some of the Jets possibly if he falls there.
Jets
well.
Possibly, yep.
Yeah. We'll see. But Peter Skoronski, we got Paris Johnson drinking now. Broderick Jones. Sound off in the comments. Let us know your thoughts on Jones from national champion, two-time champion, Georgia Bulldogs. Where does he go? Do you want him on your team? More draft profiles coming your way, Crevonte. This wraps up the offense, but defense, we'll get into it next.
Let's get into it, man.
Only here on the Flex Zone Podcast.